back another YouTube video, bruh. And today, my nigga, we got when did 2K stop feeling special, my nigga? And I'm not gonna lie, my nigga, the fall off of 2K has to be fucking studied, my nigga. The last 2K, I was good in it. Y'all niggas gonna hate me for this shit. The last 2K I was the best in was 2K21. Yes, I was a fast mid nigga. Yes, I was on the 6-foot play shot. Yes, this and that. Yes, I was the E1. Bro, but look though, y'all my elites. Y'all remember the elite wheel spin twin? Oh my god, bro. If y'all follow me on Instagram, bro, and if y'all want me to show y'all clips, bro, oh my god, bro. I will always hit the black part of the bonus, man. That shit just pissed me off so fucking bad, bro. Not even only that, bro. Yes, when I got my Xbox, when I was on Xbox at the time, when I got my Xbox Series S, yes, me and all my niggas know the VC Blitz, the next gen VC Blitz, my nigga. Me and my niggas, we was in stage, and I had the best gamer tags, bro. I had like 10 laps, 10 VC, not built, bro. You know what I'm saying? But if y'all want to see my clips, let's follow me on Instagram, bro. I'll show y'all niggas. Cause y'all know Xbox lead all the clips. I still got my Xbox account from 5th grade to this. Oh shit. I still got my Xbox account from 5th grade to this day, but you know what I'm saying? I'm still want to get me a new next gen Xbox so I can get, you know what I'm saying, all back on Xbox because I've been on PlayStation for a little minute, you know what I'm saying? So I can be streaming on both consoles. That'd be hard, bro. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I've been saying, bro, 2K, my nigga, like, bro. Ever since I want to say like 22, I was, you know what I'm saying? I was on that praying shit, trying to get that mascot from like season 7 or some shit. Like, all my real niggas know, bro. But like 2K22, bro, that was like the last good 2K. Well, 2K21 was my favorite. But like, yeah, bro, ever since then, bro, ever since they dropped next gen just been left stick, bro. So my nigga, if you new here, bro, leave a like, comment, subscribe down below. Follow me on my stuff on the screen. They see me link in the description as well. On the road to 800 subs. Let's get like 5 likes this video. Let's get into this bitch.
Over the years, 2K has added some great things. From grinding through the D-League in my career, to creating your own church in the neighborhood, to create a legend.
Oh, y'all remember that shit, bro.
Through the D-League in my career, to create
I'm not gonna lie. When you hit 90 overall, all my niggas know when you hit what 90 overall, 80 somewhat. What overall was it? 80 some shit? 91 of the ones, bro. They had added the custom search in 2K18 and shit like this, bro. That shit used to be so hard, bro. Now they took that shit away because niggas don't know how to act, bro. Why? I have no clue. Wait, or was this automatically unlocked off the back? I don't remember, bro. But my nigga, I was 90 overall. I was asked in 2K18. I'm gonna keep it a buck. This is really my first year experiencing part for real. I know me and my nigga Marquise remember, bro. It was ass, bro. This is back when my name was Drake Fly 87, bro. Hey, come on, bro.
Shirts in the neighborhood to create a legend, making your favorite player in all time.
I want to hit 91 so bad, but I never hit that bit. Cause I can play my game on the fucking weekday. L moms, my nigga.
To see just how much they used to us and how much we're getting now. First up, we have 2K10 and 2K11. In 2K10 and 2K11, this is
2K11. That was like my first 2K I ever got.
Things this year was the original dunk contest in the
but I got that shit.
And that's where you could get creative with props and sit there for hours trying to beat this.
I lied. My first actual 2K.
It was still a ton of fun. And this era
was 2K15, but it was on PS3 though.
It honestly showed that 2K actually cared about the offline experience. In 2K11,
then I bought 2K11 on some dumb shit. I don't know why I bought that game. I guess I went on some retro shit.
Legend that he is today. And that idea carried straight into the Jordan channel. Because you weren't watching history, you were playing it, recreating.
Then I got my Xbox One, bro.
Tough to beat.
My mama got me 2K16 on Christmas and shit, man. 16 on Christmas. Also, my nigga, it's alright, bro. I found my old Instagram from like middle school or some shit, bro. And my nigga, I actually, and if those Instagrams like of my old photos ever go viral, my nigga, bro, I would be so fucking embarrassed. But I actually posted pictures of my games. See, I know I'm not bullshitting, bro. I had all that shit.
If you weren't good
on my
enough,
Xbox
the game
One.
didn't save you. They sent your ass to the D-League.
But I was ass. I was a little boy. I was just playing my career in offline modes. Cause I ain't have gold, bro.
That if you played this game,
real niggas remember.
I lick my fingers because I don't like them.
And that's also the reason why I ain't started Fortnite season 1. Cause I ain't get gold till what? Late season 2, I think. Yeah. Cause I got that LOL emote.
Those offline modes. They also had some great online modes. And easily, probably the best one this year was crew mode. You and your friends could create your own team, design your own jersey, and then play online against other people who do the exact same thing. It was honestly way ahead of its time, and that's exactly why people to this day are still asking for them to add it back. Overall, 2K10 and 2K11 were the foundation, and everything that came after this was built on these games. And that brings us to 2K12. In 2K12, they made a lot of people upset by removing crew mode, but this year also added a lot of great things. One of the biggest ones was the Rookie Showcase, which put you up against all the rookies that were coming into the league, and how you played actually mattered because it affected your draft stock. And that flowed straight into the draft experience, where you had team interviews and genuinely looked forward to seeing where you would end up. Because at this time, you really had no idea.
Well, I can see that we are not a match, unfortunately. Good luck to you on draft night.
And the mystery of
what
is part of what made my career so much fun each year. And Create a Legend, that expanded too. Because this time, it wasn't just Michael Jordan. Now, you could use any player in the game. So you could turn your favorite players into all-time greats. This is another fan favorite mode that people are still asking for to this day.
That was hard.
Player Lock in my NBA. But if you played the original, you know it's just not the same. But this year, you weren't just creating a legend, you were also training with them. Because at the same time, legend training camps were added, letting you train with legends to increase your attributes in my career. And they didn't even stop there, because you also had interesting stuff like cheat codes that let you play as a kid's team. This year was
that shit hard,
and a lot of it got overshadowed by crew mode being removed. But looking back, 2K12 added.
It was mad as hell. It was like, all right, man, I got some for y'all ass.
2K13 was a pretty weird year because this was when 2K introduced one of the worst things we ever had in 2K, being VC. But at the same time, they still gave us some.
Damn, 2K13 was the first 2K with VC. Damn. That's crazy.
Which instantly became one of the most interesting features that they added this year, even if you played it once or twice. And at the same time, we can't forget about the Nike ID replays, which made every dunk feel special. And that's because it showed how high your vertical was on each dunk. So every time, you had to stop and watch just to see how high you got. This year, my team was also introduced. And back then, it was actually really fun. The player market would shift the player's price depending on their performance in real life, kind of acting like a stock market in 2K. And the packs were affordable, legends actually felt rare, and it wasn't filled with microtransactions yet, which makes it even worse to see just how bad this mode has gotten. But they didn't forget about My Player this year because they gave us Blacktop Online, finally letting you take your My Player online again, which everybody missed so badly in 2K12.
That man took a hella shit out.
Gaming brought us a way to win money in 2K, built right into the game. Overall, even though they introduced their own kryptonite being VC, they still also gave us a lot of memorable things this year, and some we still miss in today's games. And that brings us to 2K14. 2K14 was a turning point for 2K. When the next gen version dropped, the graphics jump was insane, and it genuinely felt like a different game altogether. And that LeBron trailer had everyone thinking this was the future of sports games. But that wasn't it. My Career took a completely new direction. Not only did they make My Career a playable movie, they also made each choice you make matter with multiple endings.
That shit was hard, bro.
Never seen in 2K. And honestly, this is.
But I ain't gonna lie, my favorite 2K was 2K15. That was my favorite, bro. I used to be up with my brother Dante's house, going that whole summer, bro. Going crazy, bro. We used to play back top. I used to have KD, bro. Cameron used to have Brown and Braylon. I forgot who Braylon was.
This is the last time you get one up on me.
And this year, 2K also introduced a brand new mode called My GM, which gave you a more hands-on experience with running an NBA team, as the GM, of course. But this year also made one of the most controversial changes that they've ever made. On the last gen version, they removed Create a Legend and replaced it with the Path to Greatness mode, where you controlled LeBron's career and tried to chase Michael Jordan's legacy to become the GOAT. Some people loved it and some people hated it, mostly because it came at the cost of one of the greatest modes we've ever seen in 2K. Overall, this year was still pretty special, and honestly, one of the most memorable years of 2K we've ever had. Next up, we have 2K15.
Yes!
2K15, 2K really locked in and gave us a lot of good changes. They introduced the Jordan Rec Center, which gave us a brand new experience. Street clothes, Got Next, and multiple courts running at the same time. And not gonna lie, looking back now, Got Next spots are a terrible idea for rec. But
yeah, they is.
The memories we made here were unforgettable. And this is also the first year that My League was introduced. It replaced the old association mode and gave franchise players so much more control and customization. But obviously, we can't forget about the park, because this was easily where they made the best changes this year. Rep made the grind fun, people were ready to go to war for their affiliation, and the park championships gave people something to grind for all year, simply because the winner would get a brand new park. On top of that, 2K TV was brand new with Rachel Demeter. And it might seem stupid to put this on here, but if you played back then, you know she had dudes watching every single week, smiling and kicking their feet in excitement. And it didn't even stop there. You still had All-Star Team Up, My Courts, and My Career, and now you had Stage where you could gamble your VC. Overall, 2K15 was super cheesy, but it's crazy to see just how far they were willing to go just to give us an enjoyable experience, whether it made them profit or not.
Yada yada yada. You get paid Everybody's happy.
And that brings us to 2K16. 2K16 was one of the most beloved years of 2K. For the first time, my career had us grinding through high school, then college, then the draft, which was a brand new and genuinely an enjoyable experience. And yeah, the story was pretty wild, and Rip Vic.
Bro.
Hey, yo, FOF, right here. Hey, who wanna meet up after, yo?
And this year also introduced Connections in Micro. That's where you'd hang out with players, legends, and celebrities to unlock rewards. And some of those rewards were pretty iconic, especially the Terminal 23 Micro, simply because not everyone had it, and for a while, nobody even knew how to get it. This year, Pro-Am was also introduced, you know, before they required 5 players to even get a game started, and back when they actually knew how to stop cheaters. But they didn't forget about solo players either. In the park, the 21 court was added, giving you a place to hoop without
yeah, they had that in
and it's another
17
thing
too.
that is still missed by a lot of people to this day. Overall, everything this year felt pretty special in its own way because you could honestly have fun playing just about any mode this game had to offer.
You have reached the voicemail box of
FOF, friend of freak.
Yo, Vic, where you at?
And that brings us to 2K17. In 2K17, they took
Yes.
what people loved in 2K16 and tried to make it even better. They introduced park badges, and for the first time, you could earn badges that only worked in park. And if you saw someone with a cheesy one like Bone Collector, you already knew you were in for a long game. And in my case, they gave us orange juice, which was actually pretty cool.
Fresh squeeze?
And they also gave us the Grand Badge, which was the early versions of what we now know as Takeover. But 2K also let us try the game before it even released. They did that by giving us the prelude that let you start your My Career early and get a feel for the game before it even dropped. And on top of that, 2K added the Dream Team, which sounds small, but this is one of the only recent games that had Charles Barkley. That's simply because 2K hasn't been able to come to an agreement with them.
Why in the world you think I'm gonna change my mind?
Overall, 2K17 wasn't perfect, but it was still an enjoyable game and gave us some pretty cool new changes.
But it's time we make more money.
Up next, we have 2K18. In 2K18,
I'm not gonna 2K18. That was the first 2K that made me break a controller, bro. Like, I'm not gonna
to
lie.
add new things
Not all white Xbox controller, bro. Yes,
game.
bro.
The new build system completely changed by allowing dual archetypes, giving you 2 specialties instead of 1. And this year also introduced the Gatorade facility, where you would go and work out every week for stamina boost, which was pretty cool at first, but honestly, it started to feel like a chore after a while. But probably the best thing from this game, that was the t-shirt creator, which made it possible to get some of the best shirts in the game without going
No,
completely
Oregon
broke.
team
And in today's games,
hard.
I don't even know if that's possible.
That's
In
crazy.
my team, 2K finally gave us a draft mode, which the community had been asking for. Unfortunately, it was pretty ass, but it was still a great idea, and like many great ideas in 2K, instead of making them better, 2K eventually just removed it altogether. 2K18 was still full of new ideas, but the greed with microtransactions really made them easy to forget.
Just a touch more.
That'd be $3,000 plus tip.
That brings us to 2K19. In 2K19,
I was at
2K finally
2K19
figured
too.
out how to make the neighborhood feel alive.
I had a
By
pitch
things
shark.
like trivia and dodgeball, giving everyone fun new ways to earn VC. They also kept things fresh by adding events, so it constantly felt like the neighborhood had something going on, and it gave people another reason to keep playing. And this was also the year that 2K added the cages, where you could mess around, talk trash, and have fun without taking the game too serious. And one of the
Cages
best things
was
they
so
added
ass.
this year was the daily spin, which quickly became a part of everyone's daily routine every time they hopped on the game. And it's still a big part of today's game. Overall, 2K19 felt fresh, and more importantly, the game was actually fun again. And that brings us to 2K20. In 2K20, 2K once again took what people enjoyed.
2K20, I was the SS3. I was getting better. I had like a 50 win though.
The exact same, but this year it got seasonal changes. So outside of events, it finally looked and felt different as the year went on. But they also kept events everyone liked from 2K19 and even added some new ones into the rotation. But then you also had some random stuff that was also somewhat memorable. A good example of that was Frisbee Golf. It definitely was pretty unnecessary, but it was still another fun way to mess around and earn some VC.
That's dumb
But
as
probably
hell.
the most important thing, this year Rep returned, which honestly
that
never
SS3.
should have been removed in the first place.
It's crazy because cause 2K20 when I hit SS3, I told myself I was gonna hit E1 in 2K21, and guess what I did? I hit E1.
Feel rewarding again, and it was easily one of the most fun years of Park we've had in recent years. And lastly, they gave us the WNBA, which honestly made sense and added something completely new to the game. 2K20 didn't reinvent anything, but it took a lot of things that worked and made the experience even more enjoyable. Next up, we have 2K21. 2K21 was a weird year, but it still brought a few solid changes. In my career, you could choose between college
Show
and
current
G League
gen.
instead of being forced down.
Next gen was
And
ass,
for the
show
most part,
current
if
gen.
you did choose the G League, it was actually pretty cool because you'd play with and against a bunch of familiar My Career characters from past games, and they even have a cutscene where they all meet up.
Yeah, my career, my shot.
Bruh.
But they didn't stop there. You could now rent courts in the Gatorade facility, which was nice if you wanted to practice your shot or even lab up some new combos. And it was honestly pretty important this year, especially since my courts weren't in the game. And my NBA became the new franchise mode, which replaced
You had to
League.
pay
And
for
to be
that
honest,
shit,
it's
too.
basically the same exact thing, just a new name. The game honestly felt like it was rushed, and it had a ton of issues, giving it a lot more bad things than good. That brings us to 2K22. In 2K22, 2K still had some decent ideas. In the next gen version, they had you becoming a model and a rapper, which is definitely controversial, but it honestly still gave you a ton of VC. And this year, we can't forget about Kendrick Perkins, because even though he hated you no matter what, it still is one of the most memorable parts from the next gen version.
This kid is an embarrassment to the game.
Yeah, that
In
nigga
the
Kendrick
last gen,
was
they
talking
introduced
shit.
the cruise ship, which was honestly one of the most memorable parts of this year, mostly because a lot of people went back to this version after launch, simply because they preferred the gameplay and said it was way more fun than the city. Overall, 2K22 still had some cool ideas, but most of the stuff they were
And it's crazy because them DF niggas back then, them niggas would adapt to any 2K. Like, it don't matter what 2K it is, them niggas would be good at
only
that shit.
changed the experience for online players.
Carry on.
Up next, 2K23. In 2K23, 2K finally remembered that they have an offline player base that plays the game. They introduced eras in MyNBA, which completely changed the mode in a great way. For the first time, you could jump into different eras of the league with the players and teams from that time. It was easily, and still is, one of the best things 2K's ever added. And it would be pretty cool if they put this in my career. And at the same time, Jordan challenges returned. Except this time, they had way better graphics, and you could relive those iconic moments, but this time in 4K. And for online players, they added the theater. And this saved you a ton of time because you didn't have to run across the city. You could just load in and play. 2K23 wasn't perfect, but it still gave us some pretty important things that 2K definitely needed. Up next, we have 2K24. In 2K24, they added the Mamba moments, giving players the chance to relive Kobe's career through 2K, and it was actually pretty cool. And they did a solid job at recreating his iconic moments. At the same time, my career introduced the GOAT list, which was interesting because now you actually had a clear goal on trying to become the greatest player ever. And to be honest, I don't even know if the grind was worth
This
it
shit made me
because
wanna play
all
my
I got
career.
was a t-shirt and a GOAT list. But this was definitely a bright spot for a pretty bad year of my career. But for online players, in Rec, they added the no squad core, which was huge for people trying to play alone because you could finally play Rec without constantly running into full squads or being the random who never touched the ball, probably getting called trash in game chat.
We're big.
2K24 wasn't great, but once again, it still gave us some pretty important changes. And that brings us to 2K25.
No squads
2K25,
Rec is
the game
impossible,
honestly
bro.
wasn't that fun at all. But they still
Like,
added
you don't
a
got
couple
no
things worth
IQ,
talking
no nothing.
because this year, they introduced cap breakers, so you could create some pretty interesting builds. And whether you like them or not, they completely changed how builds were made going forward. And they didn't stop there, also adding the Proving Ground, which gave you matchmaking and a leaderboard, so you could really see how ass you were compared to everyone else. And again, it gave solo players a one score where they could try and place in the leaderboard. It's not really saying much, but 2K25 was one of the worst years we've had in a while, and even then, there were still
Yeah.
at least a few decent ideas. And that brings us to the most recent game, 2K26. In 2K26,
This shit so
2K
left
finally
stick
took
dribble,
steps
bro.
in the right direction. The My
Like, this
Build
shit so
is easily
ass.
one of the best that we've had in a while. And in my career, they also added build specialization,
I don't fuck
letting
with
you
this. It's too
continue
much
to improve
going.
your player even after he's already maxed
Too much
out.
shit
It was
going.
another way to make your build feel even more unique. On top of that, lifetime challenges gave players more ways to earn VC and cap breakers. And the new park format, with it constantly changing, is honestly a cool idea, especially being able to revisit the old parks.
Now
If
that's
they can just
hard.
deal with the cheaters and actually make park fun again, they might actually be onto something. Overall, 2K26 isn't perfect, but compared to what we've been getting, outside of cheating, it's easily one of the best games we've had in years. And those are the greatest things that 2K has ever added. When you really look back at everything year by year, it's honestly pretty crazy how much they used to give us, and how much has either been removed or hidden behind a paywall. But let me know in the comments what your favorite thing is that 2K's ever added. Thank you all for watching, and I appreciate
My favorite thing 2K added is a speed boost glitch. I love that. Not gonna lie, one of the greatest things. Well, if y'all enjoyed the video, bro, leave a like, comment, subscribe down below. Follow me, all my socials on the screen. Next in the description as well. On the road to 800 subs. Let's get like 5 likes to this video, and I'll catch y'all boys in the next one. Peace.